Hi, I'm Roger. Thank you for joining me again in my own little kitchen. Today we're going to be doing something that sounds fantastic. It's chicken cooked with prosciutto, rosemary, and lemon. So we have about 4 ounces of prosciutto that I'm cutting into ribbons. For those of you who don't know what prosciutto is, it's a salt-dried Italian ham. It almost melts in your mouth. There are many different ways of using it. It's something that does not have to be cooked because it's already salt and age cured. And what you want is something very well marbled. You can see the marbling of the fat throughout the pieces. That's not bad, that's flavor. So, let me heat up the pan behind me. What you want to do for this recipe is make sure that you're using a pan that is oven proof, because after everything's browned up, it goes in the oven at 350 for half an hour, 30 minutes. So you want to make sure that your pan is rated as oven proof. A lot of non-stick you have to watch out for, even though most pans nowadays are rated to 450 degrees, or at least 425. So while this is heating up, so I have extra virgin olive oil. I want to do 2 or 3 swirls and let that heat up before I add anything to it. While I'm waiting, I'm going to generously salt and pepper the skin side of the chicken. Now this was a whole chicken that I cut into quarters. And I already know that these pieces are going to be way too big. So when I serve them, especially the breast part, I'll probably cut the breast part in half. So this will serve at least 4 people, if not 6 or 8. And I'm doing it on the skin side because that's the side I want to cook first. When I put it in the pan, then I'll season the other side. One of my favorite things to do, especially in the summer when melon and produce are ripe, you can wrap this around melons, peaches, cantaloupes. If you watch season 1, you'll see the episode there. So the pan is hot. I want to swirl the oil around, and you know the pan is ready when you can see a shimmering on top of the surface. I'll separate these as best I can. It's not important that all of it be separated. You can hear the sizzle already. So again, the recipe calls for about 4 ounces of prosciutto, turn that down a little bit. And the 2 sprigs of rosemary. I want to keep moving this around so that the oil gets on everything, including the rosemary. you want to be careful with the rosemary. It calls for 2 small sprigs. If you use the real long ones, the rosemary may overpower the dish. You want to cook this until the prosciutto is lightly brown. And as the prosciutto cooks and the fat renders out, it's going to add more oil and more flavor to the dish. So this is just about ready now. I'm going to leave the prosciutto and the rosemary in, but push it to one side of the pan. Now I'm going to take the chicken and add it skin side down. You want to arrange the pieces in the pan to get as much surface contact with the skin as possible. Now we want the chicken to cook a little bit until the skin gets browned and a little bit crisp, about 5 minutes. And I'll take this opportunity to salt and pepper the other side of the chicken. The chicken is brown on one side, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. So we'll wait for this to brown up on that side, the skinless side, turn it over one more time, and then put it in the oven. Alright, I'm going to give the chicken one more turn, and then I'll put it in the oven. It's at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and we'll check it in 30 minutes. Because these pieces are so big, it might take a little bit longer. Alright, so it's been about 30 minutes. I'm going to check the temperature of the chicken. For chicken, you want it to be at least 165 in the white meat, 185 in the dark meat. As I thought, it's going to take about another 10 to 15 minutes. We'll check back. So it's been about another 10 minutes. Let's check the temperature again. Now I'm going to take the chicken and the prosciutto and the rosemary and put it in this pan. So I took the chicken out. The recipe says leave 1 tablespoon of the fat that's been rendered. I have just a little bit more than that, so I'm going to leave that in. And now the pan on heat, on a medium heat, I'm going to add 3/4 cup chicken stock, and the juice from half a lemon. It doesn't have to be a precise measurement, just juice from half a lemon. Now before it comes to a boil, I'm going to use a sturdy wooden straight edge spatula and scrape up all those little bits of meat that are stuck to the bottom of the pan, because that's where your flavor is. And in the process of making this sauce, I want it as flavorful as possible. I wish you could smell this right now, between the rosemary, the prosciutto, and the chicken. Now we'll bring this a little bit of a boil, cook it down, and wait for it to become a syrup. So it's boiling, but it's still pretty thin. So in order to reduce it to a syrup, you keep it boiling to evaporate the water out of it, and that's what turns it into a sauce or a syrup. Alright, it's reduced by about 2/3. I'm going to take it off the heat. I'm going to plate up some of the chicken. Add rosemary for color. And now I'll pour the sauce on. And there you have it. Pan roasted chicken with prosciutto, rosemary, and the lemon is in the sauce. And soon all of this is going to be in my belly. I'm Roger. Thanks for joining me again in my own little kitchen.